Hello and welcome to Black Bear Atheist. Because I just like this Frank better than the other Frank. Again, I'm biased, he's Nigerian. And he's actually funny to an extent, not like the other Frank. Though I'm biased, I generally don't care. He also has an interesting perspective on religion better than the other Frank. I think this guy completely ignored that there's no evidence for his religion, which is not good, but again, I'm biased, he's Nigerian. So we're gonna react to him reacting to insane and cringe trans TikTok. Hope you enjoy.
Identify as a woman and I'm more of a woman than you.
Boy, the incoherency here is on steroids.
The incoherency here is on steroid. If that isn't original, what is original?
Alright, welcome back to another video of me sitting under the excruciating lecture of trans activists and allies. I mean, it is exhausting and mind-numbing, but I put my...
It's a TikTok video, not a lecture. If you want to actually sit through a lecture, read a book, watch the videos, let them actually explain their views. TikTok videos are not what you're supposed to use to represent the entire community. That is being done.
myself through this torture for you. You are the reason why I'm doing this. So please, like, share, and subscribe, and also ring that notification bell.
I will also use this as my ad. Like, subscribe, comment. Whether you hate me, love me, whatever, comment. I will reply.
So you won't miss my next video. And now that you have done all that, I believe that you have, let's descend into hell and begin this mind-scorching experience.
Descend into hell, and again, just poetic. Like, nobody else can do this except for Nigerians.
But I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I am fucking tired of TERFs making a mockery of real women. Oh, what? You were born with ovaries? You bleed every month? You have XX chromosomes? Yeah, that's cute. Tell me what other external factor that doesn't apply to all of you defines you. At the end of the day, you're out here thinking that trans women are making a mockery of you when it's the exact opposite. You are pretending that you are a woman when the only people here who know that for sure are the ones who have put in the work to understand themselves. The trans women. You have put zero work into actually understanding yourself. You are only a woman because everybody else around you looked at these same external factors that you look at and said, seems like woman behavior to me. And you went, all right. The only person making a mockery.
Actually, she is not wrong. She's actually making sense. The idea that because gender is a social construct and you're indoctrinated into like a specific gender from like being a kid, men are thought males are thought to be boys and females are thought to be girls. But you can actually there's it's fluid, so you can be in between, which many people are. It just nobody actually wants to work through their emotions, or I guess like address it. And a lot of people don't address it. I'm not gonna address it ever. I could care less what you're gonna say about me. I'm not addressing it. It is tough to address it.
Mockery of womanhood is you because you do not fully understand what makes you a woman. Stop harassing trans women. I don't even identify as a woman and I'm more of a woman than you. It's okay to be
What do you identify as then?
scared of cishet men, but
I don't even think this guy is gonna put that in the video. Anyways.
don't take it out on people who aren't even a fucking threat.
Boy, the incoherency here is on steroids. I mean, it should come as a warning at this point that you shouldn't trust the...
You see why I prefer this Frank over the other Frank? You see, this one actually, again, is funny. The other Frank is just annoying. This one is funny and annoying, which makes it hard to actually like. No, it doesn't. I will still break him down.
judgment of anyone who commits such atrocity on their hair. I mean, what an eyesore. What an absolute.
You have to be an idiot to actually not like that. If your hair is like blonde, it will look disgusting. If your hair is actually black, it will look disgusting. No matter what color hair she actually puts on her head, it will look disgusting. This actually looks amazing. It like when did she get the idea that this is what a destiny was? And I don't think it's something that's, I'm just saying, like, it's amazing. It's amazing. I wish I have hair like that.
Eyesore. That looks like a preschooler's watercolor assignment. And some of their works looks better in comparison. Honestly, it does. So according to Madam Paintbrush for hair over here, it is okay to hate 6S men. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. You know, it is okay to hate 6S men, but don't take it out on trans women. Now, I don't think 6S is a word, but please don't let me, stop these people from coming up with stupid labels. That's the only thing these dummies know how to produce. But isn't it hypocritical that the community that preaches tolerance and inclusivity is fine with hatred towards so-called 6S men? But I get it. Logical consistency is not these people's stronghold. That is why this person.
Neither is it yours, you and your Christian perspective of life. Consistency isn't what you do. You're inconsistent. You ask for a big amount of evidence for this, but when it comes to your sky daddy, you seem to, be okay with just fate.
Doesn't identify as a woman, right? My guess is she identifies as non-binary, meaning she's neither a man nor a woman. She doesn't fit into this so-called oppressive gender binary. But she claims to be more of a woman than most women. Why is she claiming to reject the gender binary? I mean, that's the mental gymnastics it would take for you to come up with this kind of nonsense is really incredible. Meanwhile,
the mental gymnastic. I agree. She's to be able to come out as to be able to look at your gender and be able to decide what actually you are and look at it, you actually have to have some mental gymnasticness. And that's what many people have. There's some people like me who don't actually give a fuck that much and don't want to fuck my entire mental health by doing a bunch of mental gymnastic. I could actually break my leg.
she still can't comprehensively define a woman. The confounding question for this gender confused community.
Because it's fluid. You can actually put it in a box. You can't define exactly what a man or a woman is. That's why the question and the idea of what is a woman is so stupid. It's like, how can you just put that in a box? And that's what Christianity, religion in general, do.
Is the simple question, what is a woman? And I'm sure she can't answer that question without using the word woman.
It's because you can't put them in a... You can't put a woman in a box. You can't put a man in a box. You can't put a specific gender in a box. It's fluid. It's like it's not black and white.
Woman. Like none of these so-called trans women can answer that simple question. But they spent their life doing the work to understand that they are women. All that work and no logic to show for it. They still can't tell us what makes them women.
Bro, you and logic don't even coexist in the same planet. Okay? Your hair and logic is in another dimension.
Other than some undefined assumed emotions. But they are the ones giving womanhood its actual meaning. I mean, how is this not sexist? To claim that confused men becoming women makes womanhood more meaningful. And women who feel
confused men? Again, it's a social construct. They're males who identify as a woman. They can't do that.
Feel insulted as a result of devaluing womanhood.
And the fact that you can explain that just proved to me that I was right. You and logic don't even exist in the same dimension.
And what is cute is how, she succeeds in conflicting issues. Yes, there's more to a person than their biological features. But that's not a message that actual women don't get. That is a message that the trans community need to hear again and again. There's more to you than your gender identity. It is called a personality and a purpose, which these morons lack tremendously. And yes, there's more to womanhood.
I should not be laughing to this. But again, he is quite funny. Oh no, the way he says stuff is funny. Let's not say it is funny because what he's saying is not funny, but the way he say it makes it funny. To me, at least. If you look at the situation, you're gonna understand that if gender is a social construct and it's quite fluid, then a male, biological male, can be a female. They can identify to be in the middle. They can be on any of the spectrum. So it's not people that are mentally insane. That's how we know that you actually don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Which you don't.
Than biology. But biology is the foundation upon which you build a female identity. But you see, trans people build.
No, that's exactly the point. That's exactly the point they're trying to say. You don't build a woman's identity on biology. Just because you have big breasts does not make you a woman. You actually have to like identify as one. And if you just log into one because you were indoctrinated to log into just being a woman, which again, it's not a bad thing, that's what I'm doing. You actually not doing the work of the people that actually, try to find out what exactly makes them click. What are they? And there's no objective purpose to life. But since Christians believe that, I guess there is one.
Their gender identity on nothing. Their reasoning makes absolutely no sense. Their claim stands on insanity, a mental illness, and that's what they want to turn womanhood into, a display of mental illness. Now, do you get it? Do you get it now? And in recent history, what these people are pushing for poses a major threat to women. Spaces that belong to women are now getting saturated and dominated by these nutcases.
Yeah, that doesn't affect you, idiot. You're in Nigeria. And guess what your country do to people that are gay? Put them in prison for like 10 years. Or is it, I think it's 14 years even. For over a decade. So I don't even know what this is. I mean, this is like a white people favorite African. That is how you got 371k subscribers. I'm not saying he didn't work for it. He has he has about 400 videos on his YouTube. Yes, good job. But this are the content that white people are just clicking onto. White Christians.
But then again, I'm saying all this, forgetting that these people.
Oh, and I'm not gonna be like racist or anything. And black idiots. And any other race out there that's just idiots. They're idiots in their group. Don't understand common sense. They don't understand that there's a difference between sex and gender.
Don't have the ability to think. Not with that hideous hairstyle or hair color, whatever it is that is going on.
No, it's actually beautiful, and you are just hating because you're literally going bald.
On that hair, you need the thinking capacity of a day-old toddler to think that's beautiful, and even that is an insult to toddler.
If you're gonna be open to opening insults, I really don't want to do this. I haven't done this in a long time, but I'm still a Nigerian after all. I can insult you from head to toe.
I can hear this toddler screaming and wailing all over the world in protest, and that's on this woman.
Hi. So I did stop by your page really quickly to see that you were 14 years
Okay, so unlike the last video, this guy needs to actually change whatever hairstyle he has.
old. You've got so much time to learn and be more open-minded and more kind and accepting towards other people. So let me just really quickly try and tell you why what you're saying is wrong and hurtful. Let's start with only women can give birth. I'm a man. and I'm going to give birth, so you're already wrong there. But there are also lots of other people who are non-binary or intersex, and they give birth. And again, they're not women. Then the term breastfeeding versus chest feeding, well, for some people it's actually
Yes, it can be biological female and identify as a man and give birth. It took me a while to get this, okay, because I wasn't actually trying to get this. It took me a while to understand this, but there's a difference between the sex and the gender.
actually just more comfortable to call it chest feeding. Some women who have experienced trauma or been
Chest
abused, they might prefer the term chest feeding. But then we loop back around to not all birthing people are women, so not all birthing people have breasts. Hence the term chest feeding. I understand that your opinions and your beliefs may be deep rooted and ingrained in whatever your parents have taught you to believe, and that's okay.
Hold on. Chest and breast are basically the same thing. So calling it breastfeeding really does not exclude other people. You still have it. You still technically have a bosom. Let's just call it that. It's chest and breast all the same thing. It's just like you either women are mostly given. What am I saying? The female sex are given the identification of having a breast, while the male are given chest. But it's the same thing. Different functions, but the same thing. Evolution is weird.
Okay. You still have plenty of time to form your own opinions and even educate others in your life.
Oh God, what an
So it was basically like trying to start someone, like basically educate someone, which is a good thing. I needed that a while ago. I probably still do. You know.
absolute moron. And again, the hair.
And again, I think I can take like 2 more videos before I start like full on insulting this guy if he keeps insulting people.
The hair, I mean, it's to be.
I get it. It's something Nigerians do. But I'm also a Nigerian and I'll do this to you. And we're not talking just insulting ideas. I'm talking insulting you because that's what you're doing.
Stupidity, if stupidity has an image, it would be the face of these people.
Okay, now I'm finding it not so funny. Again, attack the idea, not the people. But I guess people don't understand that. You don't want to attack people if you're doing a debate. You don't want to attack the person you're debating. You want to attack the idea that the person have, the argument. Which, again, logic and you are not on the same planet. Not on the same universe. Okay? You don't understand even that.
And what's with the cow nose ring? Like why? This should be a crime against fashion. And if you are one of those people,
No, it's not. It actually looks good on many people.
yes, I'm judging you. I mean, dress how you want to be addressed.
And Christians not to judge.
For God's sake, if you fancy nose ring, I don't know what else to tell you. These people have ruined that fashion choice, so just choose something else, so people can know that it is safe to.
These people have ruined that fashion trend. Blah 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 blah. Shut up.
Have a child in your vicinity. And as for this gender ambiguous fellow that goes by Ian, you have just shown that a 14-year-old is more intelligent than you are, and you are not making an argument. You are just stating meaningless maxims.
Meaningless maxims. Yes, it's making an argument and you're not addressing it.
You made a couple of claims
Making you dumber than the 14-year-old.
as if they were self-evident, but you first need to make a case for each of those claims. You do. First, you said you are a man who can give birth. Well, I know God can perform miracles, but he's not a magician, and the miracle you need.
Yes, he's a magician. That's the definition of your God. A magician. By the way, he is nothing. He's immaterial, spaceless, timeless. He's nothing, but he's able to create something, become something, and basically do all sort of magic tricks. I mean, Noah's flood was a magic trick to wipe out the entire planet. So I think God can do that. Also, why are you limiting God that's supposed to supposedly all powerful and all knowing?
Is to come up with a comprehensive definition of a man that supports your claim.
No, that's not what he's trying to do. Is probably a biological female that transition that went from being a woman to a man, so she can give birth. So he or she or they, them, can give birth.
For you, a man is anyone who says he's a man, but that's a circular definition. You see, this is like saying a man is a man. What does that mean? Nothing. You can't define a man without using the word man. That is the
Okay, what's your point? What is that supposed to prove? Something?
says he's a man, but that's a circular definition. You see, this is like saying a man is a man. What does that mean? Nothing. You can't define a man without using the word man. That is the bind you find yourself in order to support this nonsense that you are.
This again, these people are confused with the difference between a gender and a sex. You can change your gender, but you can't change your sex. If you're intersex, then I generally don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Biology is a bitch.
Espousing. But based on my definition and the definition upheld by every rational human being who have existed all over the world since the creation of time, according to us, if you can give birth, then you are not a man. That's like.
So your argument is because a lot of people okay. Your argument is that because a lot of people don't understand that gender and sex are two different things, you're wrong. That's your entire claim. That your opponent is wrong because there's a lot of people that agree with you, and you're talking about logic.
Like saying that a monkey can lay eggs. Every sane person knows that any creature that lays an egg is not a monkey. That's probably a chicken or a snake. So you are already wrong there, like you said. Also, non-binary is not a real thing. That's some made-up nonsense. A human being is either a male or a female. Intersex people are a very minute minority. They are the exception. They are like people.
2%. That is actually like a lot of people. 2% of the world population. That's a lot of fucking people. I won't call that minority. Plus, yes, there's basically three sex. We have intersex, we have female, and then we have males. Nobody's trying to say that that's not true. We're talking about gender here.
People who may look cute wearing a nose ring. Now that's a very minute, almost non-existent minority. But that's not the rule, and you can't turn an exception into the rule. Also, your statement about chest feeding shares the same problem of definition. Which the definition you need to come up with is the definition for a breast. What is a breast? I mean, you probably can't even define that too. But according to sensible people, that's a glandular organ located on the chest. It contains fat and tissues that produce milk, and by definition, only women have breasts and can give birth. Only a woman's chest holds the beautiful mammary gland that produce milk for young infants. Hence the term breastfeeding. The child is not feeding on an empty chest. They are feeding on the breast. Words have meaning.
I guess I was wrong. There's a difference between breast and chest, and you can just use them intertwinedly. So chest feeding is interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna skip a little because I am not about to do another 40-minute video with this guy, and it's just ranting on this one guy, and I already explained why it's dumb. So we're gonna skip this. Okay.
Stop trying to brainwash young, impressionable minds with your pseudo logic and complete garbage. Stop it.
Pseudo logic and complete garbage. This guy just said pseudo. Um, Again, you're a Christian. You are a Christian, a conservative Nigerian Christian.
My question is, are all trans women women? You
This
haven't
is-
answered that question.
Well, that's not the point that we're dealing with
That's
here.
the question I'm
Look,
asking.
trans women are women, but in the prison context, there is no automatic right for a trans
So
woman.
there are contexts where a trans woman is not a woman.
No, there is, there is circumstances in which a trans woman will be housed in the male prison estate.
Is there
because
any
of the
context
nature
in
of the
which a
crime.
woman born as a woman will be housed in the male estate?
Look, we're talking here about trans
And I'm
women.
now asking about women born as women.
I don't think there are circumstances there, but
So it's different for trans women.
well, yes, and I'm not.
So they're not equal.
That is not that there is a risk assessment process done for trans women.
If you're gonna get a politician to say exactly what you want them, okay. If you wanna get a politician to actually answer your question, you're gonna do a lot of shit.
That takes account of the nature of the crime. It clearly sits
Oh, and I am assuming that she's a politician. If she's not, then
significant concern arises out of sexual crime and whether it's appropriate for them to be in a female prison or a male prison.
That's the First Minister of Scotland.
also, oh yeah, so she is a politician. What I'm saying is, it really doesn't matter. You could separate the bathrooms, whatever. Honestly, you could go ahead and separate the bathrooms. Have a male bathroom, a female bathroom, and then you have a non-binary bathroom. So if uh, a transgender individual is not comfortable using what they transgender into, then they could use a non-binary bathroom, which I would strongly advise, since people are not as open yet, I guess. I don't know.
And that
Just
is what
my
happens when
view.
you choose logical inconsistency. As a rule, avoid a position you can't hold to its farthest logical conclusion. That's how you end up looking as stupid as the Scottish government.
What isn't that woman literally for you? She's literally dodging the question, dodging the answer, dodging every bullet just to never answer. Which is what politicians do. Also, again, you are a Christian. Okay, you are a Christian who probably believes in the literal hell. Okay, you believe your God did bunch of magic and is basically nothing.
Essentially, she's trying to answer the question, why would the Scottish government, why would this government that claim that trans women are women put a trans woman in men's prisons? The man in question is a serial rapist who declared himself a woman while on trial for his crimes. And now he has been convicted as a trans woman. But he's being moved to men's prisons. And why is that? Isn't that transphobic? Isn't this scary looking man a woman? All he needs is a wig and a spandex that shows you that menacing bulge. And you dare not call him a man or treat him as such, right?
Okay, so I am gonna say the exact same thing that you said 2 seconds ago. Well, that's a little percentage of the situation. That's a little percentage of the community. People that are just trying to, make fun of her or take advantage of her, if that's what he's doing. Again, little percentage. Just like I said, little percentage of intersex, even though it's 2% of the entire population based on the research done. Anyways, the point being, just because, I don't think they should have even sent him to, you could just transgender during a trial for a crime that you commit. Does that even make any logical sense? Again, this really does not have much to do with the community, but a lot to do with the laws. I guess you could transition whenever time you want, but if you start the trial as a male then hell, you're gonna end the trial as a male. You could be transgender in the male jail. Male jail. In the men's jail.
First Minister here is trying to come up with an exception for this criminal because he's a sex offender. But there are many violent sex offenders in women's prisons. I'm sure they have gruesome murderers in Scottish women prisons. Is Madam First Minister also planning to move those to men's prisons as well? So why is this beautiful, scary woman an exception? The answer is simple. It's so simple, guys. He is an exception because he is a man. Trans women were women until this man showed up.
Also, is this even a TikTok video?
And now we all can see just how ridiculous these people look and sound. Now their ridiculousness is inescapable. That's what is happening here. And this is the reason why many of us resist and make mockery of this nonsense. You know, we all know that this creates many problems and allow people to game the system.
Shut up. Shut up. And the fact that this is your front, the fact, like Kenya, the topic of the day is gay laws. That's apparently what the country needs. That's apparently what we need. We need more gay laws, banning gay people. No, that's not what you need at all. That's not what the country needs. That's not what Nigeria needs. We have much issues and much more problems that we're gonna need to solve, which is like education. Not gay laws and putting gay people in prison for like over a decade. That doesn't benefit anybody. Again, I say secularize the country. If you can secularize the country and separate religion and state, you're not gonna have the subjective morality of their fucked up religion, Christianity, or the Islam fucked up religion with their wacky morality influencing the entire country.
Built upon an obvious lie. An irrational human.
It's still gonna influence it, but it's not gonna be crazily as much as like sending people to prison for being gay.
Being can see this coming from 1,000 miles. They can see this coming from like last 20 years. But it's evident that those rational people are not the majority in the Scottish Parliament. You know, that passed a bill way back in December that makes it easy for anyone to legally change their gender in 3 months without a diagnosis of gender dysphoria. A proposed amendment. There was a proposed amendment while this bill was being debated. There was a proposed amendment to exclude men who are violent offenders from legally changing their gender under this new law. But that amendment was...
Well, it's not really that difficult to deal with this. If you start a trial as a man, you need to end that trial as a man. If you decide to change in between, nobody gives a fuck. Legally, we're still gonna hold you in regard as a man, trial as a man, sentenced to a man's prison. If you start the trial as a man. If you already transitioned before, then there's no topic. It's really not that difficult, people.
Rejected on the ground that it was unnecessary and wasn't happening. That's what they said. It wasn't happening. But the irony is, while the First Minister was saying all this, and many of them in Parliament who were in support of this nonsense, we are saying all this way back in December, the Scottish female prison was already housing 3 violent male criminals who claimed to be women. And one of those had repeatedly inflicted harm on female inmates. But the Scottish government...
So how dumb do you have to be if they continually inflict harm on... See, this is what I mean by like, something is not adding up and these stories are just stupid. Just put them all in the same prison. Just put them all in the same cell.
Still couldn't envision anyone ever gaming the system. It wasn't happening. That's what they said. It wasn't happening. That's what the first woman in the first video we looked at was saying. It's not happening. Trans women are not a threat. We've been told that even in the face of them posing real threats to actual...
They are not a threat. And just by pulling up the minority and saying it's a threat doesn't make them a threat.
Women. But what else can you expect from people who can't tell us what a woman is?
Then answer me, my bro. What is a woman? since you seem to know the question, know the answer to the question, what is a woman? I don't think these people have any common sense at all. You can't even answer what is a woman, and if you say someone that, oh yeah, give birth, no, that's describing a biological female. What is a woman in terms of the gender? Oh, a woman is someone that, takes care of a child, and you're saying that's all what a woman is? No, no, there's more to it. So you're saying you don't even know exactly what a woman is? Yes. You can't box this kind of things. It's not white and black. Just sad. That's it for today. If you like the video, like and subscribe.